Welcome entrepreneurs to the second class of traditional marketing course, and this is our second class where we're talking about the 4 P's of marketing. My name is Juan LLerena. I'm a marketing consultant, an engagement and motivational speaker, and I hope you enjoy this class and that you take full advantage to it for your business and for your business idea. Okay, so straight to the point. Welcome to the traditional marketing applied on the online marketing world. A marketing mix is one of the concepts that you will learn in if you ever study marketing. It was brought up by Neil Borden in 1948 and it's been a classic, but it's changed a bit since then. Now, traditional marketing is now applied to online world. We know that, as we approached earlier in our introductory session of this course, and basically cover the 4 P's of marketing. Okay, and the first P is for product. The second one is for place, price, and promotion. Okay, we're gonna see that in further detail. Give me 1 second here. All right, now we're on. Now, when we talk about product, what are we talking about? Well, we're definitely talking about the product. Okay, and this could be a product as a physical product or also our service. We will look to answer 5 different questions in each one of the P's that we are studying this time with the 4 P's of marketing. Okay, and the first question here is what does it solve for the customer? Okay, so our product or service. Okay, you're just gonna think of your own product or your own service, and you're going to ask yourself, what is it going to solve for the customer, for my client, for my customer? For example, if you are in the restaurant business and you're selling food, okay, are you going to solve for the problem for the customer of the customer being hungry, or are you solving the problem of the special dietary needs that your customer might have? Okay, so those are 2 different approaches, just with the same question. Okay, what does the customer really want? Okay, it's not what you think your customer wants, is what your customer actually tells you that they want. Okay, what is it gonna solve for them? Okay, it might sound a little bit repetitive, okay, but the reality is that we need to find out what problem we're going to solve for our customer. Okay, so see the difference between just trying to provide food to fulfill somebody's hunger or trying to solve a particular dietary need for a specific consumer. Okay, so that's a complete different approach to the same question. Okay, that's 2 complete different problems and 2 completely different possible solutions. The second question is how and where. How and where will the consumer use the product? Okay, again, in our restaurant example, is it going to be, are we a restaurant that is going to be available to satisfy the need of tourists? For instance, if we're in a big touristic city, is it gonna be designed and geared to satisfy the needs of the locals? Is it going to be a restaurant that is going to be open during the week, during the working days and during the working hours if we're in a busy financial area or commercial area? Is it mainly for the weekends? Okay, are the people that are going to go to your restaurant, are they gonna go there before they're going to the gym or before or after work? Okay, there's like different ideas. You need to understand when and where are you gonna offer this product or service to this customer. The naming. Okay, you need to think about branding and what is it you're trying to transmit with your product or service and the name that you're gonna put to it. It's gotta be something, okay, as a general rules. I mean, we could have a branding course, okay, just 10 classes just for branding, okay. But here we're just gonna try to take a practical approach and to get you to think about the things that you normally don't think because you're too busy running your business, okay, or busy working and you don't have time to think. Okay, so here we wanna remind you to think about a name that your business wants to transmit that is easy to remember. Okay, do you need to create a new word? Is it gonna be available if you decide to open a website? Is the brand name or the domain name available? Is it simple to write? Will your customers remember how to pronounce it, how to even remember how to write it, or if they type it on the browser on Google, will they be able to find it? Okay, so you need to start from the very, very beginning, your own branding with the name of your product. Now, don't only worry about SEO. Okay, that is the worst thing you can do. It's just, I'm just gonna come up with a name because that's gonna be really easy to find on Google. Okay, you can't just create a name that it's only geared to SEO. And if you don't know what SEO is, well, you're gonna have to watch and follow the other course that we have for digital marketing. Okay, it's another set of 10 classes, but you can get to it later. But you can't just design that for one purpose. You need to see things as a whole, okay, as a 360 degrees perspective, because there are other things to consider. Now, what is your unique selling proposition? You need to be as specific as possible. You need to be different with your product or service. What does it make? What does it make your business product or services unique? How is it different from your competition? Okay, so these are all the different things you need to think about when you're thinking about your product, okay? Because there is always competition. And the moment that you stop thinking about it, or that you don't put enough effort and time into your product, then somebody else will. Everything will need to be reflected in your online platform. So this is something you will need to also have in mind. And everything that shows how unique you are. And for this, you will need to gather real cases, real testimonials from other customers, examples of your products or samples of it, or how you have been able to fulfill and satisfy these needs from your business that you have already provided to other customers and other clients for future clients as well. Price. Now we're going to talk about the second of the piece, which is price. And price is more a perceived value, okay, versus cost. Okay, so now I want you to understand and think of pricing more as a perceived value. I don't want you to think price as cost, because your customer's perception is their own reality, and what is going to solve for that customer, it can have an immense value. It can be a big problem if you even save people's time. Let's say you save them an hour a day, and then you're all of a sudden are opening somebody's day to accomplish more things. For instance, just gather that thought, and that time for that person of that 1 hour, 5 hours a week, or 8 hours a day, or 20 hours a day, is worth a lot of money, because all of a sudden they can do other things to dedicate to their business. Then that's a big, huge perceived value. Now, if someone is not going to do anything with that extra hour they get a day, well, their perception of the value of your product, of your service, is going to be really low. So you have to try to figure out what the perceived value is for your customer, and how you're going to cater that message to the customer, so then, or your client, so they can find the importance and that real perceived value of that solution that you're offering to them, whether it's via a product, a physical product, or via your services. Okay, and when we need to talk about value, there's different ways to approach how you establish your own pricing, but I don't want you to only focus and follow gross profit. Okay, there's this formula, which is gross profit percentage, which you add a specific percentage to your cost from the moment you produce a good, or from the moment you obtain a product that you are getting to resale, and that yields a new price. Okay, that's it's not just a typical markup, which is another approach, or just your gross profit percentage profit. But for instance, like the food that you're selling, if you have a restaurant, going back to the same example, if you're selling food at a restaurant, will be perceived very differently from your customers or your clients, based on their needs or their interest. Okay, and they could be focused more into the quantity. They want like a big portion that it just completely fulfills their hunger. Or maybe they're more focused into their nutrition. They're looking at what's the how much it's protein, how much is vegetables. They're looking at to get out of their foods with a different perspective. Some other people are going to value more if it's a homemade, if it tastes like homemade, if it tastes like grandma or their moms, or when they cook at home. That's huge for some people. Some other people are going to value more the proposition of the fast food approach that you might have. Maybe just like a quick, very very quick sample. For instance, one day I was with my family and with my two daughters, and we were just heading over to a business event that we needed to attend, and I was just bringing my daughters to help me out with. And it was just early in the morning, so we said, well, there's no time to have breakfast here at home as we probably should have, but we needed to kind of hit the road, and it was going to be a little more fun. So we just kind of swing by McDonald's, and I'm not kidding. In 3 minutes, we were through the drive up option window number one to order. In less than 1 minute, we knew what we wanted. The second window, we paid. In less than 20 seconds, we had our credit card back. And the next minute, we were just driving up by the third window where somebody was just handing us out the breakfast that we ordered. So it was like a 1, 2, 3, bam, bam, bam. And for me, at that moment, that's what I needed. I value homemade, I value nutrition and quantity, but the fast food, it was giving me right at that point, right at that moment, what I needed. And that made a difference. It just made my morning because I was just like right away on the go and on the road getting to where I needed to go. So your perceived value is different. Now, when I say do not follow only gross profit, I mean that yes, you have to make sure that your pricing reflects the value and the time that you need to have in your pricing in order to bring the revenue that you need for your business to succeed and to continue operating, whether it's that you have to pay your payroll and the overhead that you need to have for the office and everything else to run successfully. But at the same time, you have to remember that you need to keep a balance with your pricing, and that percentages don't only bring you the revenue, you need to bring dollars to your bank. So you need to find a balance. It's a little more complicated than just applying a formula and then getting your pricing done like that. Okay, you need to look at other stuff too. Now, your market pricing. Okay, now you need to consider as well what is your competition. You must consider other offerings. Who's your competition? Okay, and if you are selling food as a restaurant and you happen to be in the Italian business or the fast food burgers, okay, well, your competition are going to be the burgers as well. But your competition sometimes might not be as obvious, okay? Maybe your competition, it could be the supermarkets, okay? The deli within the supermarkets, they're a competition as well, because customers are going to shop for their groceries, for the milk and the bread and the butter and their eggs, and all of a sudden they also happen to be hungry and they don't have time to cook, so they might just stop at the grocery store and they have all these big salad bars and all these hot foods ready to go, and those concepts of restaurants inside restaurants. And well, that might be just one less trip to the restaurant, to your restaurant. So you need to really understand who your competition is. You do not have to match or lower the price of your competition if we're talking about pricing specifically. You don't need necessarily to sacrifice margin, okay? And you have to realize really and understand what is expensive and what is high price, okay? So if you deliver a good value with your products and your pricing, it delivers a good value as well for what you give to your consumer or the problem that you solve, then you might be okay. But you have to figure out what is that threshold that if you go beyond, the customers are going to start buying, which brings us to the next point, which is the price elasticity. Okay, if you move up, and what is elasticity, or what is pricing elasticity? Well, if you move your pricing up, let's say $1 or a cent or $10 or $1,000, depending on what you're selling. If you move the price up, then your sales might drop. Okay, so you have to ask, how elastic is my pricing? How elastic it is for this product? Okay, and again, the same way, if you move the price down, are your sales going to skyrocket? Are they going to go up immediately? Okay, and does that apply to every single item? Well, not necessarily. So there are certain items like bread, eggs, meal. These are the classic examples that the demand remains constant, okay, with price fluctuations. So all of a sudden, if the eggs are dropped, saying half price, or they sell you the eggs for, I don't know, half a dollar when they're costing $1.50. Okay, that's like 3 times cheaper. And yes, you might probably buy 2 dozen of eggs, but are you gonna be able to buy like 10 or 20 dozen of eggs? I mean, what are you gonna do with it? So like there will be a limit on how much people are really gonna stock up on certain products or certain items, even if the price really drops. So some items are gonna be more their price elasticity is gonna be better than others. So you need to understand how your customer thinks and how again they perceive that value or that price in their world and at that moment. Okay, you can attract more sales also with better pricing when you have discounts. Okay, now are your discounts good? Are discounts bad? Okay, what image it creates for your product or your service when you discount the price. Okay, so in some cases it can be good for your business, it can be good for your brand, it can be good for generating extra sales, but sometimes it may affect your brand in a negative way. Okay, how does it affect your elasticity that we just talked about? So you need to think that before you start a particular strategy for your pricing on your products or services, you need to think, how is this going to affect the perception and the customer's mind? If you reduce the price, maybe because you also make the product and you can really come up with better pricing, but your price is way too low compared to other products, and you offer the same quality or even better quality than others. If you can transmit that to those clients or potential customers, they might think that your brand is just cheaper, that your product is just lower quality. So you have to be careful with that. Now you will have to realize as well as the timing for your pricing, when you do this and the time of the year and the day or the week. But the discounts, it can be also a very good, strong tool to give you, more leverage and sell more products. What is your pricing level? Okay, is again more expensive, or does it fit in a high price level? Okay, sometimes a little extra pricing, it might help get your product a better, prestige, or maybe it can be perceived as a higher, quality product, although it might be the same quality as the cheaper price item that people just can't find, or for some reason they just don't have access to. And now digitally, you need to be able to show this on your website. Okay, and for this there are like different strategies, such as using pricing tables, where you can actually set a price table A, B, or C, and this is typically used for like services, where if you subscribe to a class for the option A, for the lower price, then you might only get like 2 or 3 features. Okay, limited number of classes, limited technical assistance, maybe limited emails, or the longer waiting times for technical support. If you use the third option, which is the most expensive one, well, probably they'll give you all the bells and whistles, maybe even the ones that you don't need, but maybe you can afford, and then you're the kind of person that you want to get it all. And then also, these price tables allows us to see option B, and option B is usually the pricing option where we get just about every business needs, definitely more than the option A, but not quite as much as option C that not everybody needs. And it's probably the option that they want you to buy. It has enough gross profit for your business to succeed and to survive and to actually thrive. Okay, so there are like different strategies that you can use online to reflect these different pricing propositions, having comparison benefits, things like that. Now there are also some other different strategies that you can use online, such as let's say you have a customer that is coming to buy a cup of coffee every day, and if they get 5 cups of coffee a week, and each one is say a frappuccino or a frappe, a really nice fancy cup of coffee for $5 a day, and then they buy 4 a week, then they get the product for free when they reach a particular goal. that triggers a specific savings. So that's a discount, and that can actually entice your consumers and your buyers to actually, instead of going to your competition, coffee shop down the road, they just go and return to your business, which might allow you to capture extra sales with that, additional cakes or cookies or some different pastries. So there are ways that you can have a presence online to trigger retail physical sales. Needless to say, there is a beautiful array of different alternatives with loyalty programs that people have to enroll to enjoy additional savings or reduced pricing, or the rewards program, again, where they reach certain number of visits a month or a day or a week, or a specific amount of dollars that you set. So the system recognizes how often they come, when they stop coming, and triggers a new offering for them to come back to your business to again enjoy this extra coupon that you threw at them, so then they get a chance to experience your business again, and for you to deliver and try to engage your customers again. Or the same, just give them freebies if they're great customers and your top customers list. So many different strategies you can do online. Promotion tools. Okay, now promotion tools, we need to answer a few other questions, such as when. Okay, when it was very difficult to answer before. Very difficult because you had to go through a lot of trial and error in the long run. You have to put an ad in the paper, and then you have to, or in a magazine, and you have to wait for the results to come back. Maybe people will have to clip some coupons or do specific actions, and it was very expensive to do, and very time consuming, and it would take a long time. Nowadays, thank you to the internet, and thank you to particularly like analytics, you can know when people are searching for your products even before they buy. You can tell when people are more active on social media, right? Now you can tell how, by knowing certain patterns and what things they're doing, what things they're looking for. Couldn't you tell how to improve your website traffic? Would you know how to improve it or when to improve it? Are they more active during the business hours? Like for instance, you have a travel agency. So your customers are probably more likely to look for their traveling destinations if you send an email with an offer to check out your travel destinations. If you send it to them when they're home in their leisure time, or maybe on the weekend, that when it's during the business hours. But let's say you sell office supplies. Will they be looking at your office supplies for their work when they're at home? I don't think so. So they will probably be looking at your office supplies, so maybe you will need to cater those promotions and those offers, and how you reach out to your customers that are looking for, or you're selling paper and pens and ink and toners and printers and communication solutions during the business hours. And this might be probably Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, 9 to 5. Okay, so there's like different reasons why people are on the online space doing different things. It's the same people with different goals, trying to look for different things. Now you need to think about the channel. How are we going to decide where to promote? Okay, where are we going to be? That will be another question we need to resolve, to respond to. Are we going to use radio, TV? Are we going to use podcasts? Are we going to use the social networks? Which ones? Do we want to be in every space? Do we want to be on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter? Do we want to be in all of them? Should we be on Pinterest as well? And plus there's all these other Periscope and YouTube and all these other social media platforms where different profiles of consumers are, and they're looking to do different things depending on the different space they're at. Okay, are you gonna reach them out via blogs, or are you gonna reach them out via Google AdWords? Okay, you need to also look at your competition, and how do you look at your competition? Well, you need to learn what others are doing. Okay, and it's really easy. How do you do that? Well, you don't even need to walk to their store or not even talk to them. You can just go to their website, find them on social media, and see what they're doing, what kind of conversation they're creating, what things they're doing, so you can strategize and maybe come up with better offers or learn from them. And I'm not saying just copy them. You need to have a space to set the tone and be on the top of your own business too, by creating new opportunities for your own business by being unique and doing other things. But at the same time, you can improve, right? You can improve by learning what they're doing. Where is your customer? You need to learn with promotions and tools, where is your customers? The beautiful thing about online marketing is that it allows you to segmentate your customers based on how they communicate, where they're at, their age, their gender, where are they connecting from? Are they connecting from a local area that is close to you, or are they in a further area that you're not interested in serving? Are they connecting via their smartphone, their tablet? Do they use an iOS? Is your website optimized for that? So like you need to understand who your consumer is, and when are they connecting, and who they are, and what is it they're looking for. Again, we need to find how to solve their problem, and the moment that we can solve the problem, we're going to earn their loyalty. Okay, and who wants your product? You need to learn who pays for the product. Okay, now online you can pay for ads on Google, like Google AdWords or social networks. If you don't know about that, again, I'm reminding you, we have an online marketing, digital marketing class. It's a 10 full sessions, a course where you can actually learn about all these online marketing tools and techniques. So you need to, if you're doing this class, you definitely need to do the other one. It's a must do class where you will learn a lot and very practical. You will just kind of get up to speed with what's going on nowadays. Anyways, as I'm recording this session, online also allows you to, like, via Google and via Google AdWords analytics, and also like Facebook campaigns and Twitter campaigns and these other different platforms allow you to segment your customers and be more specific as far as who you're reaching to with your marketing strategies. Email marketing also gives you that opportunity, and there's many different tools for that. So again, you can watch the other course as well once you finish this one. But there's like many ways where your marketing dollars actually can be really, really well spent, and you will know exactly who you're targeting every time you're doing a campaign, and be able to measure things, like in real time, and be able to adapt and change your different strategies as you go and as you can see the results. So you get a lot more flexibility. The place, okay, and place it's normally associated with a physical place, a building. Now the question to answer here is the where, right? Where is your product to be found? Now first they need to go to the internet, Google or Amazon, like say for shoes or electronics, okay, and you need to be able to announce on that space and participate in that space. You need to let people know where you're at so that people can find you. Okay, you need to let the world know about you. Now, what is your store format? Before we used to talk about supermarkets, malls, and well, even nowadays, right? Now we see Amazon merging with these big grocery store, big chains of grocery stores, Whole Foods, and there's like an intersection between the online space versus the physical space, and they're trying to discover what's the best way to interact and how to create a more a complete experience for the users where there's still human interaction, that it can be replaced with bots and all that. But nowadays many people go to the internet even before they when they start their process for purchasing products. Many of them start on the internet, and this is only going to increase, and many of our customers are already going there. So what is your store format? Are you also going to have an online presence? How to get to the market? Okay, how to get to the market, and this is changing. You can have a presence with a website. Okay, you can have a presence with a website. Whether there's different strategies such as search engine marketing or search engine optimization or via social networks, you need to understand your customer so you can develop a strategy to be where it really matters for your customer. Okay, so you need to answer these questions. Do you need salespeople? Okay, so there's again on the conventional marketing, traditional marketing, you needed to have a sales force, probably the best paid. They needed a lot of resources in order to complete their work and whatnot. Nowadays, do you need sales people for your business other than you? Or if you have a small business, can you amplify ways to reach out to more customers? Well, you can use different strategies such as affiliates to push more sales for your product. Okay, affiliates, that's one of the other topics that we talk on online marketing. What is your competition doing and how can we learn? We have to think, what is my competition doing and how can I learn? Okay, and because the place, it can be such a relative word nowadays where it doesn't matter where you're at. If you're providing services, you just need to know where your competition are and what are they doing. You need to learn from them as well. You need to learn from them. But at the same time, you can be in different spaces placing banners, for instance, in other websites, or participating in forums, providing not just spamming or just creating backlinks to your site just because, but also providing valuable information. People really value when other people gives them good information that solves their problems. That is very valued. And again, you can use backlinks to your site when you provide good information. So the concept of place is change. You need to know where your product, customers will need to know where to learn, where to find your product or how to get to you, and possibly via website, your own website. You need to decide that. Your store format, are you gonna be in a store, in a mall, in a corner? Are you mom and pop shop? Online, are you gonna have your own website? Are you gonna be part of a marketplace, or how are you gonna have a presence online, or are you just gonna have a blog? Okay, and you need to get to the markets and the consumer. You need to establish some other ways also as far as how you're gonna sell and learn about your competition. Marketing mix. Okay, so this covers the 4 P's of the marketing mix for our class of traditional marketing: product, which we talk, price, which we cover, promotions as well, and the place, the 4 P's of the marketing model. And we hope that you really enjoy and that you have to spend some time thinking about your business, and then just start thinking about each one of them and how we have discussed every single one of them, because they will give you more perspective on how you're doing things. You don't need to change anything at this point, but if there's anything that you find that you haven't put a lot of thought of, or that it hasn't been working, well, this is the moment now to address, to take action, okay, to act. If you find that you have data, you have information that you're not using, you're not acting, and that might be costing you additional sales. That might be costing you not get into the market. That might be costing you not to grow your business and to live the kind of life that you're looking to live, okay? And to provide for your families, to provide for your kids, to live the life of your dreams, okay? Now you have some things to do. Review the material, what you're currently doing, and design a path with better chances to improve your results. Again, this is Juan LLerena, and we invite you to join our community. This is for you, entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs. And in this second class, you have learned about the 4 P's of marketing. We invite you to also contact us, reach out to us with questions, comments, okay? And see you in the next class with Juan LLerena, Practical Online Marketing Tool for Your Business. See you soon.